In the last video, I explained you about the different terms of the spherical mirror, and the lastly was the focal length, and I told you focal length is half the radius of curvature. So the relation between the radius of curvature and focal length is half the radius of curvature, or radius is twice the focal length. Now we are going to study about the uses of these mirrors. So what are the uses of the spherical mirrors? For that we will first going to study about the uses of concave mirrors. Now concave mirrors are used as a reflectors in headlights of automobiles, in searchlights, in floodlights, and in torches, because you see that the bulbs of the headlights, they throw the light of automobile, they throw the light to a very large distance. Same is in torches also, you must have seen. So while I'll be taking the different type of ray diagram, then only I'll explain you why it is used as such, because they throw the light to the longer distance. Then the second use of it is they are used by dentists to see the enlarged image of the tooth, because the thing is, when we are going to place the object at focus, image will be formed at infinity. So that is why the headlights, the bulbs are used, and behind the bulb in the headlights you see the concave mirror placed. They are also used by the doctors to see the internal body parts, such as the inside of the ear as well as the nose. So this is the second use. Third use is they are used as shaving mirror. And the fourth use is they are used in the reflector type telescopes. They are also used in the solar heaters, or you can say solar cookers, devices which uses the solar light of the sun rays. So they are used in solar heaters, they are used in the solar cookers as to concentrate the rays of the sun at one point, because the rays which come from infinity, they meet at the point focus. So at focus the heat intensity will be very high, so the food can be cooked easily. So these are the few uses of the concave mirror. Now we are going to study about the uses of the convex mirror. Convex mirror are used as the rear view mirror in the vehicles. On the side mirrors of the vehicles also, in the cars, convex mirror are used. And on the above the place where the driver sits inside the car, you see a small mirror placed over it. So for that also the driver can easily see the traffic behind, and in that also we use the convex mirror. Then they are used as the vigilance mirrors in the departmental stores. They are used as a street light reflectors, since they diverge the light over a large, because it is a diverging, as I told you, convex mirror is a diverging mirror. So they divert the rays over a large area. So they are used in the street lights also. So these are the few uses of the concave mirror and the convex mirror which you have to learn. Now we are going to study about the Rules for the construction of images. Now, in order to make the ray diagrams for the formation of the images, we have to first study its rules. It is not that incident ray is coming, the rays which are coming from, which are incident on the concave mirror or the convex mirror, they have to follow some rules, how they are going to pass. Now the first rule is the incident ray which is passing through the center of curvature. Any incident ray which is passing through the center of curvature, as you see in the case of same rules are there for the concave mirror as well as the convex mirror. Any incident ray which is passing through the center of curvature, it is going to reflect back through the center of curvature only, as you can see the arrows. This is the incident ray, and after reflection from the concave mirror, it is reflected back along the same path. Why it gets reflected along the same path? Because any rays which are coming from through the center of curvature as an incident ray, they always strike the mirror perpendicularly. And any ray which will be perpendicular to the mirror will go undeviated, or will be reflected back along the same path. In refraction, I told you it goes undeviated. In reflection, it reflects back to the same path. Rules are the same for concave as well as the convex mirror. In the convex mirror also, you see, it is reflected back to the same path. So what happens to the incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis? Any ray which is incident parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, passes through focus. As I have already told you while I was dealing with focus, that incident rays which are parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, passes through the focus. In the case of the concave mirror as well as in the case of the convex mirror, incident ray which is parallel, it is reflected ray is diverging, it is diverged, and when it is produced backward, it is meeting at this focus. So this is the second rule. Now what is the third rule? Third rule is that any incident ray which is passing through the focus will be reflected parallel to the principal axis. Now in this, both the mirrors have been drawn. In the case of the concave mirror, you see this is the incident ray. As you can see the arrow also, this is the incident ray which is passing through the focus. After reflection, it will become parallel to the principal axis. So which is passing through focus, the reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. The same is with this ray is passing through the focus, appears to pass through the focus, so it will become parallel to the principal axis. Convex mirror also. Now what is the fourth rule? A ray of light incident at the pole of the mirror. Now in a concave mirror, a ray of light incident at the pole get reflected along a path by following the rule of the reflection, that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, as you can see in this diagram. Suppose an incident ray is coming, incident ray is having the point of incidence at pole, so it is making angle, this principal axis will be perpendicular to it, which will be like a normal. So this small I is the angle of incidence. So this incident ray will be reflected back by making the same angle as you have for angle of incidence, because angle I is equal to angle R in the case of reflection. So it will be reflected back along the same angle. This is the figure for a concave mirror and this is the figure for a convex mirror. So these are the 4 rules which we have to study, and depending on these 4 rules, 2 rays we take, because in order to have the point of intersection we require only 2 lines. 2 lines when they intersect gives you the point of intersection. So at the point of intersection the image is drawn. So you have to remember all these 4 rules. Again I am repeating. An incident ray which is passing through the center of curvature will reflect back along the same path without any deviation. An incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis passes through its focus after reflection. And the third rule is incident ray passing through the focus, which is passing through the focus, gets reflected and becomes parallel to the principal axis. An incident ray at the pole of the mirror is reflected back with the same angle, making the same angle as the incident ray is making with the principal axis, that is angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So all these 4 rules are true for a concave mirror as well as the convex mirror. Now in the next video I am going to take up the formations of the images by a concave mirror and the convex mirror by keeping the objects at different positions.